Okay, so this is going to be a really weird game of the day, because I've got a ton of stuff to talk about. So I'll just take it from the top, and I've given myself no formal notes here. It's first of all going to be a double game of the day. I want to show you two different cues here. The story is, on a Wednesday, usually I try to take a day off and not actually, do anything, but, live my real life. Instead of actually walking away from Guild Wars for the day, I played PvP incessantly all day yesterday. For those who play a lot of PvP, I actually played enough PvP to do 3 reward tracks all in one day. I basically pulled an all-nighter. It was kind of ridiculous. Now, the reason I did that, as silly as it was because I really enjoy this warrior build. I really enjoy it. Now, some of you guys will look at the last video I did, and you'll think, oh, come on, it's a gimmicky, silly rifle warrior. And to an extent, I still definitely feel that way about it. But this has got real legs. I mean, I really actually rate this very, very, very highly. I'm not going to say I'm an amazing player on it now, but I got much better over these countless games over Wednesday. And I want to talk to you guys about it. So this game of the day, I'm going to show you 2 different games. One is this, where I can show you what the build is like when it's unpressured, where people don't take it seriously, and there's not any necessarily great kiting and stuff. And then I'm going to show you another game where there's a lot more pressure on it too. So we kind of get 2 different angles of the build. So going from, and I really, again, do actually believe that this is severely underrated. This is absolutely not an AT thing if you want really good success in ATs. But for plat queues, this thing is fine. It's more than fine. It's brilliant. It's, first of all, I would say very close to what Hollows are doing at the moment. It's kind of that insane, ridiculous, physical pressure that is really good once you get in on the Firebrand, once you get in on Reapers, once you do whatever you want, really. Especially when there's downstate bodies, you have this mountain of pressure that you can unload. Also, much like Hollows, it's really CC heavy. So what Hollows are really good is chaining 1 knockback, and then they chain their their shockwave, and then they'll chain their prime light beam. Well, this thing's got monstrous CC as well. Okay, and I'll just run you through it. You've got your taunt on your F2. You've got your AoE interrupt on the gunflame itself. You've got all the rampage stuff, which is a range stun, AoE stuns, auto attack that dazes, sorry. You've got the skill 3 on rampage that dazes. So you just got a ton of different things. And then obviously the bull's charge knockdown as well. Also, you'll notice here, I'm even running Stomp, which is possibly one of my favorite skills in the game right now. Stomp is so ridiculously fun. And I'll talk more about that. That's kind of an optional slot there in a minute. But yeah, so it's very, very close to Hollows. The difference, however, is it's got way less sturdiness, particularly if you're running the Stomp variant here, in exchange for range snipe capacity. So, here, you guys haven't seen any gameplay. I'll show you what I mean. The gap close potential and chase potential of this build is off the charts, because it's got so much mobility, and it's improved on Hollow there. But also, it's got the either 1500 or 1200 range ridiculous rifle spikes. So, if you watch here, this is me chasing down a thief, and I know 100% in the moment, by the way, I'm getting baited into a shadow step where he's going to port up to the node, he's going to return. I'll note, by the way, as much fun as I've had on this build, and I believe in it right now, I did pull an all-nighter, so I was getting pretty tired through the end. This might be really cringe-worthy gameplay we're about to see. But, yeah, so anyway, even getting baited into the shadow step as I do, watch the chase potential here, and you can still get the kill. Here's another example as well. Where you can basically, and it's not always just thieves, but obviously thieves are most satisfying because you can obviously explode their heads open. It's really, really, really cool to be able to see that, and you can engage in some brilliant ways. The other thing that I really like about the build is it's like an anti-Reaper build. It's so good, and Stomp especially. It counters so hard what most people are running right now. This thing chews Reapers up in the most gross of ways. Now, a Reaper can kill this if you're not careful, but you can very comfortably outrange, outpressure, and annihilate Reapers. You do so much damage that when they go into Shroud, you can pressure them out of their Shroud really quickly. You can avoid all their greatsword stuff if you're staying away. It's very fun builds for this, though, because obviously it's very map dependent. What you're about to watch is a Colosseum game that's opening up here, where you get lots of lines of sight and open plains, and it's very good. That's very different to, say, Skyhammer, and Forest, where the build can suffer more because LOS opportunities are so much higher for your opponents, and then those kind of really melee-heavy crunch builds, such as Reapers, can be much more effective. But, you know, even on Forest, there's some good ledges and stuff. Anyway, so the last thing I want to talk about just before we get into the footage here is, well, no, I've got two things. First of all, traits. This is one of those things where I played it for so long yesterday and so successfully. It's a bit like when I was really hooked on Fresh Air, and you play a lot of Fresh Air and nobody rates it very highly, but you start doing well with it, and all of a sudden you start seeing loads of other people are playing Fresh Air in your queues, and clearly they're like, well, that looks fun, and they're, you know, trying it out. So there were a lot of other people who started playing Rifle Warriors, and it's kind of ironic because I got inspired to do this for that very reason. 2 days ago, I was on a Firebrand and someone was running a Gunflame Warrior. But you didn't really see any of them. That was the only one I saw in any of my queues since coming back to playing. But all of a sudden, there were a lot of people running around, clearly trying to emulate what I was doing. But they all made a massive mistake, and that's that they're all running arms. I'm telling you, discipline is the way to go with this build. People run arms because they think the unblockable stuff. And what you'll actually notice here with my utilities is I'm not unblockable. And I know I'm being very wordy, guys. Don't worry, we'll get into the gameplay in a second. People run arms for the unblockable, the signet, and all that other stuff. I'm not actually running an unblockable variant at all at the moment. You can optionally do that if you perceive that you'll want that against an enemy Firebrand and certain other things. The tanky Chronos as well. This build is a treat to destroy because they're just such bait when they're in Echo of Memory and Deja Vu. So yeah, I'm not actually running the unblockable variant. I really believe in this instead. Just to be clear, the first, what I've been doing is placements, swapping to the other region, placements, swapping to the other region. Always coming out, well, okay. And when I was doing that, originally, while I was still trying to run unblockable, and particularly using the Signet of Might, as you saw in the last episode, on the Signet of Might variant, I had a terrible win rate. Like the build that you saw in the last video, I mentioned in the commentary that the adrenaline felt rough, and believe me, it was. You even saw in that last video, I was trying out Crackshot, guys. Crackshot! It was not good, and I was trying that for the adrenaline. The unblockable variant that you saw last episode, I had an awful win rate. It literally, like, the worst win rate I've experienced in years. It was like a 40% or lower. You know, most games I queued into, I knew I was going to lose. And it wasn't even that I was dying a lot in the games. You know, I would be able to kite and troll people around, even and decap, even if I wasn't able to score that many kills or swing fights with as much pressure if I'd been on a lot of other builds. I wasn't dying. I was just, you know, forced to run and play decap roll a lot, which any high mobility build you can do well. So I think that, and combined with some bad luck, honestly, it was just terrible. However, I knew that this Signet, well, it was tempting me. There were two big problems with the build as far as I saw them. Fury uptime, crit uptime, and adrenaline. They were really, really getting to me. And I didn't want to, I know you could swap to the Elite Signet, and I knew in a way that, but Rampage was so strong. So I thought I'd try the Signet of Fury here. And the second I ran this and twigged this, it was night and day. This unlocks the full potential of the build in an enormous way. So basically what this enables you to do is run in on a fight, haze someone, instantly go into Berserk and start doing your big pressure, even from your full range, and doing all your good stuff. Also, remember, there was a patch for this recently that bumped its on activation effect, which means you also get 360 precision and 360 ferocity, meaning, you know, you're at that 100% crit chance when you need it. Now, basically, why this unlocks the whole build is when you pop this, the more you can go into Berserk, the more you can juggle the Berserk boons, which includes the Fury and the Might and the Quickness. Honestly, it is such a ridiculous difference. So yeah, and then the last thing I want to say about the build is this middle slot, Stomp, that I'm running here. Now, some of you may be sneering, okay? This is an optional slot, all right? You can run the unblockable Signet here, which is a great utility choice if you see that you're going into a lot of projectile mitigation. Fresh Air Ellie, I played against one Fresh Air Ellie all night, and it was, you know, 30 to 40 games. There was one Fresh Air Ellie. If I'd ran the unblockable signet, he would have been easy to kill. Get through all the swirling winds, get through all the reflects. Obviously, the obsidian flesh is the only thing that you would struggle with at that point. So it's a great counter for that, for the tanky chronos. You should definitely consider that. This slot here in the middle is optional. Berserker stance as well is great. Helps you get away from the Condi pressure. Condi Mez is one of your biggest counters by a long way, and running the Berserker stance is excellent to allow you to continue creating the gaps until they're all drained. There's a beautiful Mesmer build out there. A Great Swords bleed applicator build. It's amazing, and it will be very, very difficult to fight unless you swap on Zerg stance. Zerg stance is also really beautiful because it chains adrenaline, so you can precast and do other fancy things between engagements. So that's another really good set. Some of you guys have recommended Shake It Off, which as a double stun break is actually okay. Some of you will be thinking of Balanced Stance, but listen, Stomp is the way to go if you're looking for stability issues. I promise. Stomp is a stun break, just like Balanced Stance. Stomp gives you stability, just like Balanced Stance. Stomp has so much power and utility in the current meta and with the downstate fight. This is an AoE blowout for everyone. So listen, if a Reaper is well of blood, got his greatsword well and all that crap over a body, you just stomp on it and you blow it out. If there, some people are trying a Tempest water build, which I'm not convinced by at the moment. I'm still withholding judgment to some extent. But if you see those water fields, you just knock people out of them. If you see a Firebrand has created a sanctuary and all that other stuff, this gives you stab as you use it. You just slam down on the body and you knock everyone away. The body in particular out of these things. You knock bodies over ledges. You knock people who are chasing you away from you on maps like Skyhammer when you're up on ledges. It's got tons of kite potential. It's got mobility application as you move around. This skill is extraordinary. It's amazing, and I want to show you some gameplay of it. So anyway, there you go. That's the build. That's where I'm at, and I really, really, really do like this. So let's move on in. There were some other trait swaps that I've made as well. I'm on before I was on the vitality trait. I made that. What you saw in that previous video, I concocted in about 3 minutes. Okay, this has been multiple queues of refining stuff down. You know, I'm on Forceful Greatsword now for the extra damage there. Oh, man, I love this build. I really love this build. I'm super, super into it. And I want to show you guys. So, anyway, Colosseum. So, here I'm wondering who's going close. The Hollow really wanted it. To some extent, I kind of like picking up close. Because in a lot of 1v1 scenarios, people don't know what the hell to do against a Berserker at the moment. And especially on this map, you can just walk away from the node and you can... I have a very high confidence level. For taking people out. Also, it's just very fast to roam. Also, Hollow is great in the team fight, right? But the other guys seem to really want it, so whatever. So, anyway, we've opened up. Sorry, and I've missed the burst, so let's go back ever so slightly here, and I'll show you guys what we're looking to do. The mid-fight engages. I look for a Reaper. Reaper's always the greatest thing to kill, and I noticed that his Guardian is horrendous. I don't know if that's a Firebrand or what, but this guy's unsupported here. We do have another one we can go for here. So, here's the opening poke, all right? We open with the 2, okay? Now, this vitally puts us in combat so that when we pop the Signet, we don't immediately start draining the adrenaline and we can't berserk out of it, which is a problem. So you gotta always get yourself in combat first. Using the 2 to get us in combat, though, applies 10 stacks of vulnerability and a bit of cripple, which when we swap to Greatsword, no, actually, I'm not running that sigil anymore, but the sigil of incapacitations. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to pop our Signet to max out our adrenaline. We're going to Berserk and Gunflame. Now, you can either do that straight away if you don't respect the player you're fighting, which is what I'm in the situation right now. And I'll remind you, this queue is late, okay? But basically, we're going to Gunflame straight away. You don't have to always do that. You can wait for the first dodge, all right? But there, so I Berserk. And now here's the Gunflame. That guy dodges at the wrong time. They often dodge right after the initial impact, which lines them up for a perfect Gunflame. So there, his dodge ends. We hit him. And we hit him for 8,000, plus a bit of burning on there as well. He had Pro up already because other people had hazed him to the point of the Spectral Armor, I think. No, that's not true, right? Anyway, so then we take the volley. So here's the thing. You land the Gunflame and you go straight into the volley, which you can have Quickness and Fury on. So that's your actual burst, and they come out very, very low. Obviously, a lot of that's mitigatable and dodgeable, but it's fine. So that's why you basically get the Gunflame plus the 10k thing. Now, after the volley, if you do like one more auto, you can Gunflame back to back if nobody's pressuring you, which is what I did there. This time, the Fury dropped off, and we were unlucky. Yeah, what we're going to do now is jump over. I use this onto the body to give myself stacks of stab to res. But I noticed that the other guy is already rezzing. So all I do is I swap to Greatsword. We're going to move towards him. We're still berserked. And we use the F1. And we rally our friend if he needed it. Then we got the Firebrand there. We see that the mid-fight's going pretty well. We could go on the Firebrand, or we can look at the other low Necro, who I noticed has got very few boons. We tried to Bulls Rush in. I take the Rampage here. So we could have used Rampage to slam that down, but now I see I've got a downstate over here. So instead of working on this, because I got an ally there, who he looks like he's in S as well, and he's probably going to stomp that out. I take the Rampage 5 to do big CC and pressure over this area. The body gets ported. Now what I can do is res here as well, because I have stab. But instead we're going to kill the Guardian. You see we get the auto attack kill there. We throw a boulder here. It's not important to do any damage now. But we'll haze this down, because obviously we could have just rotted that. And there we go. So pretty clean mid-fight. We watch their respawns and see their Reaper. We swap while we're still berserked and grab the Gunflame. We don't crit again, unlucky. I've got like an 80%, 86% crit chance. So here we stomp forwards while he's healing and interrupt it. So he's thrown back. We take the GS F1 to kill him. And the 100 blades, but obviously we can just rot that body now. There's somebody decapping behind us, but I've got 2 allies there already, and I know that I don't need to be there. So instead I'm coming towards mid. We're watching their respawns again. We can start hitting this guy. So here, there's an auto first, and I'm hazing him with the autos because I want to pop the Aegis before the rifle too. Obviously, there's LOS and stuff. So he takes the dodge there. It's really not a big punishment if that happens. My Necro moves up, which I'm pretty happy with. We can finish this guy off with an F1 as well if we need to. And so, yeah, then he's down, and that's fine. We can rot that body. And what I'm thinking right now, I remember it's weird, guys. You can play so many games, and then when you watch the footage back, you remember exactly what you were thinking in the moment. What I'm thinking right now is this is an easy win as long as they don't regroup, because they're trickling terribly. And I just want them to keep coming in 1v1 like this, and that's it. The game will be over. So I'm coming up on the ledge, and I'm watching it. What I want to do is get very aggressively in the face of anyone pushing through. Here I walk all the way down, which is a bit of a mistake, to be honest. I could have been shooting that Necro already. Here I go balls deep. I just decide, hey, whatever. So you can see against the rifle. I was out of range on that. So he opened with his... this is terrible gameplay, really. I take the kill shot. I guess I'm just staying away. So basically, the mistake there is I didn't get in combat, and then I just did a regular kill shot instead of a... Berserk. I mean, the regular kill shot would have been good if it crit, but again, I'm not critting ever in this game, apparently. No Fury, so it's to be expected to some extent. But then, as you see, I pull out like that. It's just, you just create these big gaps. We know that he's going to try and pull us in through various methods. So we just, we hold it like that. So here is a rare situation of Stomp not doing anything that well. As I stomp in, he flips the stab mid-jump. So that's a bit unfortunate. They come over the body. We kill him with the regular F1. The regular F1 is not actually that good of a skill. What's it called? Arcing Slice on Greatsword, but the Berserk one is nuts. So here we gunflame through his blocks. We've already got the buff there. I'm gonna Rampage here because we can. I mean, Rampage is just so low cooldown. It's just so strong. You can almost just throw it out like that, right? Like, that's not a particularly high-value Rampage. To be fair, the risk of this game is very low right now. This is actually this is a lot worse than I remember. So here, he's on the node, and I stomp on the node to throw the body off so we can immediately start capping. And you can do that a million times with Stomp. I really love the skill. Yeah, this game is not a very good build highlight. I knew that it was a game where I was unpressured, but it's not the best. So he dodges the Bull's Rush, and now he moves in. I don't have rifle butt. It doesn't land. I take the stun break from my F1 and just pull away, which meant swapping to GS. My guys aren't really doing very much here, I don't think. We tried to dodge the Greatsword 5. It doesn't really do anything. We take the well through him. And me coming back towards the node here, I don't really agree with either. This is a bit of a mistake, to be honest. I would have rathered immediately going towards their spawn there. To catch whoever that was and to get an intercept before mid. And now we're all zerging wholesale away from far, which isn't very good either. that Reaper's going to respawn, and we could swing something there. Or at least someone should stay, I think. So here's a body, and it's our job to stop this res going through. I don't know whether we'll make it, because he's already at 97%. Let's see. Yeah, that already went through. But as soon as he stands up, we can put him on the ground again. We go for the stomp there. It gets Aegis. We can move on to them and use... So this is beautiful. I paused it at a good time here. So this is where the Greatsword's burst is really good. The cleave on it is massive, guys. 4, 9, 6, 7. We scored a kill on the Ranger at the same time there. We get a lot of pressure on people. Take the 100 blades on the new body there. I mean, and then we can do them back to back. Another 7k non-crit you just saw there. Non-crit. Straight back over to this warrior. Who, you know, this was kind of pointless. And we're now on sword, by the way. So be cautious. Sword there will inflate the numbers. I've got to be more careful of showing you guys Colosseum games, especially when it's like a build to some extent I want to showcase. Because Colosseum really is not... it's too snowbally to give people realistic situations. This is unrealistic anyway because I'm taking so little pressure in this game. So anyway, standard combo. We establish the vulnerability. We immediately berserk. We immediately gunflame him. I've got a guy next to me. So the stomp also rips immobilize as well because we're on warrior sprint. So that's another useful thing there. It moves me out of the traps. It moves me out of the scepter. Now, we know we could get pulled here, but we do get stabbed from stomp at the same time, right? So it does everything you want a balanced stance to do and then more, trust me. So there, I actually eat prime light, but stomp still gave me stab. So I was taking a gunflame over the body there, which is kind of nice. But obviously I'm 3v1, so I'm and I scored a kill 3v1, but I'm pulling back out now. As I pull out, I notice my Necro's engaging. Oh, so I turn around. I should turn around. Oh, I don't turn around. I just leave the Necro there. We even have a guy with sword as well. I shouldn't come here. This is bad. This is really interesting. You don't notice how just sloppy you get. So here's a just regular kill shot out of range. At least they knew how to bail out, so I'm pretty happy with that. Oh my god, he bailed out and he pulled 2 of the enemy team. They didn't even finish off my Necro over that node. That's hilarious. So here you're looking at one of the rarer situations of very low pressure here because obviously I just wasted all of my endurance, adrenaline on a burst without going berserk. You nearly always do want to berserk for what it's worth. I proposed in the previous one that there's occasions where you don't. Most of the time you do want to berserk. If you're using a regular kill shot, it's often just kind of for funsies or a bit of BM or... There would have been another way of going through it because by berserking you do get the fury and the quickness and stuff. The other thing as well is if you're in a situation where someone's running away, yes, the regular kill shot has higher range, but you're locked in place while using it. So while Gunflame, you can keep walking around. So just that quality of life from Gunflame is really nice. There I failed to dodge what's it called? Gravedigger. But we berserk. We use the rifle and the greatsword stuff to knock that guy down. Straight back onto the Firebrand, who's also dead here. Another waste of a rampage here, really. We use it for a bit of mobility. Come back to the node. My Scourge has done awesome here, honestly. I didn't appreciate this in the moment. So now it's our job to save the Scourge. So this is the other situation, of course. You can do a regular kill shot when your Berserk's on cooldown. Like, you can kind of do, like, a Berserk and then regular kill shot, and then a Berserk and then a regular... You can kind of alternate to some extent. Anyway, we took a massive hit there. We did 15,000 damage to that guy. He goes down. This is 2 bodies here now, as we've whirled through. My guy's in down state as well. So we're coming in to try and save the 2v1, but they rally, unfortunately. They get that rally really quickly. But you gotta appreciate that was ridiculous pressure we put over these guys. Reaper goes down again. 100 blades over the body. Stomp to mitigate the fear and to blow them out. Unfortunately, that moves the Ranger onto the node. Now, so I have to stay on the node or we get decapped. Now, the other thing is, I don't know when that Ranger pressed F on the body, it presumably triggered a search and rescue on the Reaper, or on the other Necromancer, right? So, there's 2 things. One, I want to cleave this so that I don't get decapped. But 2, I'm assuming that the pet will run back to the body. It will be a few seconds before the Ranger can hit his downstate skill 3 and change that pet onto himself. So I'm assuming that this guy's getting res off screen. So what I'm going to do is kill this quickly with our just ridiculous pressure. so that the pet despawns. And then we have successfully secured this. So we take the Berserk. That was completely unnecessary. And you can actually see that the guy's quite high here. And I think it worked. So anyway, now the job is to cleave this. But I looked back to spawn after it happened. And you saw, because I looked back to spawn, I saw that was getting plussed. So I pull back. My team is safe. The guy goes for decap plus traps. I'm aware that he's going to try and pull me into those. We take the F1 for a 13k over that body there. We back out ever so slightly. And our Berserk drops. So did you see the weapon swap there? If I'd been slightly quicker with this signet and weapon swap, I could have then gunflamed him. He's got his shield up anyway. So here I'm just going to hold on the boxes for a second. My allies popped all the stuff. I realize my guy's quite low pressure here, so I'm going to move in. The guy instant stun breaks as I blow him out. There's more incoming. I use Bull's Rush to get away. It's fine. We can score the kill from back here. It's not a problem. We get interrupted by the pet in the middle of the gunflame. That's horrible. Did you see that? We were lining up the burst. That would have been the kill there. And the pet gets us. It's fine. We come in. We take the F1 here. Well, through. Here's a rampage, which again, big CC over bodies. So we can immediately just... Like, look at these numbers, guys. 8, 11? This is not Berserker. This is a Marauder Amulet build right now. It's ludicrous damage. So, yeah, we cleave it out. We Bull's Rush through the crate. And I wish I hadn't swapped off a Greatsword right now. If I didn't swap off a Greatsword, I could have had other stuff to pressure him through the crates. My Stomp misses there. But here we're back into Berserk. No crit even in Berserk there. Which, how does that even actually happen? I swear, I have like 106%. Unless maybe I'm on strength runes here. I was running pack runes for a while. So, here we go for it again. He moves. And this is kind of a lovely movement, actually. I don't think, to be honest, that this should have triggered his wall. Because I'm standing here. Maybe it's NA. But the projectile technically is here. This is a bit of server desync because of lag. So, the bullet... And because he was moving this way, the bullet actually becomes water as it goes towards him there. And just sort of fluffs out over there. So, anyway, now I just pull back. Because, you know, there's no point pushing the line there. We have double cap on sides. The Dragon Hunter, like, this is such a bad play from the Dragon Hunter here. Like, why would this go any differently to a second ago? I understand if you lose in a 1v1 and then you push the 1v1 again because there's some ego there and there's, you know, oh, I can do it. And, you know, maybe you got a new build and you're testing out. I get that, right? And people say, oh, don't do it because it's going to push the same thing. So, but to push into a 1v2 like this is terrible. So, here, one little play. He got his F3 up and I noticed he was focusing on this guy. So, I tried to move around behind the F3 for when my burst comes through because then he won't be able to block it. But I think he had Aegis at the same time or... It was a little bit fiddly. Here I just execute 100 blades on the node, which is a really good way of pressuring people that are node tunnel visioning. One of the main ways you kill firebrands, honestly, is they don't realize you're this little thing that's just 100 blades. I mean, they should use standard enemy models, to be honest. But people always walk back into your 100 blades. So just, you can hold it and be a bit patient quite often. And you saw a little bit of that there. That's where good players will obviously never get caught out. So here, we dropped out of Berserk right in the middle of the F1 there as well, which was going to be the kill. So we have to just use regular abilities to finish this guy off now. We'll take the volley. So I'm running Sigil of Agility as well on Rifle. Sigil of Agility is the best thing in the world for Rifle. For a while I wasn't sure about it, but it really is. It lets you snap those volleys out super well. So here, this is a 2v2 that I'm really happy with. We boulder first for one stun. We jump in for another. I was going to start cleaving this guy, but then I see that he's Spellbreaker and he was using his full counter. And I hate proccing full counters in 2v2s. I feel like such a piece of crap if I ever do it. Because I know I get so irritated when other people do. So it doesn't matter because I have stab, but I don't want to interfere with this. So I just stay on the body for a second. I don't want to hurt that other guy. We can Berserk again here. There we try and Gunflame. He's beautifully behind the pillar, so that's fair enough. Another full counter from him there. Stomp for the kill. And blow him out. And yeah, so anyway, this is game one. This is going to be a long game of the day because I've got so many games to show you. And this is just like a whitewash, really. So what I want to do here is, there's no pressure here, there's no difficulty here. This is a boring game, to be honest. But I just kind of want to show you the flow of the build and what it can do in an unpressured scenario, right? And even watching this back, I feel I could be far more convincing to you guys. Far, 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 far more. So anyway, we kill the Reaper. So there, beautifully, the other guy kites in and the Gunflame is AoE, don't forget, so you can always utilize that. Knock him away, and particularly away from the body. Rip through his shrouds. Now there I could have dodge rolled towards him. Our dodge roll pressure is actually really high. The other guy CC'd there and we gunflame. I still want more crit chance, man. If I'm on strength runes on this game, I should definitely go back to pack because there were too many non-crits there. Way too many. Watching that back. So anyway, this is like my 3rd round of NA placements. And we're at, what, 6-2 there, I think it is? Or 6-3? No. We're on, well, whatever. You guys could say. Anyway, so yeah, 450,000 damage, 22 kills, 0 deaths. Yeah, right, whatever. It was a boring game. Let's show a close game now, shall we? And so this isn't just fun because of the build we'll be running, but it's fun because it's genuinely a really good game. And I'm not going to spoil here whether this is a win or a lose. So let's do it. We have a support Ellie, as you just saw there, or a staff Ellie. I don't know what kind of staff Ellie it's going to be. Moving on over, we're looking at mid. So this is Temple, obviously. Always good games on Temple. We want to be very cautious. It's going to be a big opening mid fight, and I don't want to get pressured too hard. I love the look of this. You can see my cursor there immediately. You're seeing that guy on the Spectral coming in? Because you know he's going to just try and port out again straight away, but he doesn't realize how hard he'll get chunked before he gets any of his shroud right at the start. So we're looking for this. The 2... I fell. I guess I fell. That's so gross, man. I fell and I never gunflamed at all there. Gross. So we retarget to the Mesmer. We get the pressure. So my guy's down here. So this is awful. So my Guardian has been blown up. And I kind of let him down a little bit there because I fell off the side. But so what we do is we take the AoE. We just burst this Mesmer. And we can see here that he's CCing. And what he's done, I think, maybe, has he been CC'd or has he jaunted back and we will expect it? Sorry, phase retreated back and jaunt forward or something. Anyway, so by taking the stomp here, this gives me stab to res, to cleave, to whatever, and it gets rid of them over my ally. Or in theory it would, the guy had stability. Swap to great swords. And I mean, this is really, really tricky here. And we know we've got the F1. We know how hard this hits, and there are very low players near us. So we take the great sword 3. The F1, we get a double kill with. We get a Necro down from earlier and the Mesmer's down. And we know that the other guy that was there is still pretty low. We have Bull's Rush as well to interrupt more stuff. And beautifully, the timing here is right after my guy dies. So they cannot rally. I will not pretend that that was intentional. So here we take autos, right? Because we had a bit of blind on us, but also the autos just do so much damage. So we push through. And then the 5 when we know that we've got no blind. The 5 scores another kill here. Guardian goes down. All that's left is this Thief. He's not going to be able to do anything at this point. He's trying to cleave my guy to cause the rally to go through. My guy Vapor forms. So we kill the Thief. The Thief tries to bail, but by taking the Greatsword 3 like this and his decision to come this way means that our volley was always going to kill him. And with the other bodies, we swing this team fight and we manage to win it. So I'm really excited with this because I feel like we managed to do a lot of work there. Immediately going back to close to watch for anyone crossing. But it also means that the rest of the game is going to be, you know, these are not surefire team fight wins. So here I'm watching their respawns as I come out and I see that there's that guy there. I see that I've got a friend on the side node who wants a bit of support. So here we take just some autos again. What I'm scared of right now is his Aegis coming up randomly and accidentally, thus saving him. So I'm autoing. So let's watch this again, because I'm pretty sure this was not him pressing F3. Right? La-di-da, he's naked, right? He's got no Aegis, so I can kill him. And I could do it, like, right now. It could have been the 2. And then I Berserk. And look what... Oh, that's strength in numbers, isn't it? Look what comes up. This is his passive. This is his passive. This is not active. He didn't actively do that. I mean, what the hell? This is on like a 100-second cooldown, isn't it? All right, thanks, lords in heaven above. Very fair. So yeah, anyway, all I got to do is pressure this guy. It's... Oh, no, and we fell off. Oh, what a mistake. This is horrible. It's horrible seeing these mistakes again. I'm not going to spoil whether this is a win or a loss, but this is a very close game. So every little thing you see is like major head-in-hands moment. Anyway, my warrior was there to cut off his cross anyway. So come back up. I see that I've got a guy that died. There's a warrior here. He's blocking. And so, yeah, the unblockable signet is kind of nice against warriors to get through their shield stance. And so you might say, oh, that improves your matchup there. But I actually think Stomp is better against them nonetheless because you will be Bulls Rushed. You will be CC. You can't play a build with no stun break, right? You just can't. And then the question becomes which stun break. And I just think that this is better than balanced stance. I just really do. So anyway, we rifle butt him back. I don't know how much rifle button you're going to see, but rifle butt is fantastic. Especially on this map as well. When you get used to how it works, knocking people off at stillness and stuff. I did multiple times last night. Really fun stuff. Anyway, so he's cutting away. I'm not very happy with my Guardian here, by the way. So I think we're about to see a disaster here. My Guardian's just been standing there not doing anything. And realistically, he should be in these fights. So yeah, I get just immediately cleaved down by the Reaper there. Poor play from me, realistically. You know, coming up, if I come up these stairs, I would have had a clean line of sight, so it's a mistake. There will be a few deaths here. Again, I'm not cherry picking just, you know, every time I do really, really well. So anyway, we take the Vengeance, because I know if I can cleave out the Thief in Vengeance, I've got a chance to res. I've got all kinds of stuff. So, yeah, we take the pressure. The danger here is if I don't cleave it in time, I rally him, right? And if they counter pressure me, then I rally him. So anyway, we take the F1, which is big damage, straight into 100 blades. We do kill the Thief, and what do you know? We actually managed to rally. I'm not running that trait, obviously. But we go down again nonetheless. Lots of pressure on me here, just so much pressure. Lots and lots and lots of focus. And my team is unable to counter pressure. So there's 4 players here, and this is when I look back at the map, and I'm like, why? Why are you just standing doing nothing at mid? Great. And so I'm mousing over in the moment, just wondering what's going on. I don't type or anything. But anyway, we've lost sides, and obviously we've lost sides. We're outnumbered. So, yeah, pretty unfortunate. 3 of us dead. Not looking good. Enemy team equalizes and brings back. That's basically, that moment there is solidifying them getting back in the game after losing the initial opening mid, which we only just won. And now, obviously, what's going to happen after you've let your entire team standing there alone? You're going to get outnumbered. So now he's dead because he's outnumbered. They are low, so I'm being a bit greedy. I know that... Here's the thing. If I'd landed any of these attacks, and unfortunately he's evaded and outchained me, I would be able to Berserk and Gunflame, and the AoE Gunflame would have scored the kill here. I know this guy's healed, but he's still Gunflameable right now into death. So there was a possibility of me scoring that, but unfortunately I don't get... And I had to do that quick, so I've signated out of combat here, which is bad. And I kind of had to because I needed to get it really fast, especially before this guy starts bringing up blocks and things again. So I know that there's... So here, I know that this guy has been dropping traps or something, right? So what I do is that dodge back because I think he might be about to F1 me. The truth is he's probably core guard, right? So it doesn't actually matter. But that's what I thought it was. Or, you know, even if he ported in with that original one, that's what that random dodge back was from me. A low warrior comes towards me as well. I bulls rush and kill him. I don't even know what, what that is. Thief comes towards, and I know if the Thief is going to try and res that, I'm just going to stomp. There we go. Go into the Rampage and take that as well. So we can kill... The Thief's probably thinking, oh, I can use my stolen ability here to just pressure through the Rampage, but you can't do that. Here, I'm basically 3v1ing. Can I just be clear here? I'm basically 3v1ing. I've got a guy down, I've got this guy super low, and I'm interrupting this res. The Rampage heyday is not going to last forever. We great sword F1, but the Thief just stole to me right at the end of Rampage, which applied weakness, which stopped my F1 from killing. Now, it did still kill the Thief. The Thief died for that. So I've put 2 people in downstate, but the Guardian is still up because the original one was a glancing blow. This 5k you see here is from the Whirl. So, and that's an evade. So what I need to do is pop Mending to heal, but I don't quite land it. Finally, this guy comes in. But, I mean, this is so painful to watch. But he's just, as far as I can see, all he's really doing is auto. And I know he's probably low on adrenaline or whatever. So he can't even, solo, have got 2 people down here and a very low Guardian that just needs a little bit of, you're a Spellbreaker, man. Where's your dagger? Hit him. I used my 2, which ripped 1 Aegis, as you 1 stab, which you can see there, immune. All he had to do is 1 CC to interrupt this. And we cleave this down, and we get this. But no, he doesn't. So, I'm defeated. He rallies all of them, and now he's just died. So, you know, this is me kind of greeding and baiting in, but if the initial thing where I got out of combat had at least landed, the first Gunflame, we might have been alright. So now, what I'm thinking as I'm rezzing is great. This is the exact same situation again. I'm going to be walking in with a dead ally and very low enemies, and do I get baited into it? Also, very upset with the fact that the entire map has flipped against us now. So there's his body. I see that I have a Staff Ellie casting Meteor Shower there, and I realise, oh, he's not support at all. this might explain a few things. Nonetheless, sometimes, you know, a silly build like that can do something. So they all die. So good job, I guess. He's even running Glyph. So Meteor Shower and Glyph, they were all in the choke. I take the decap. I really want that last bit of adrenaline to hit the Mesmer. I get it. He blocks. He runs away through the portal. And he evades as a Mirage as he does so. I don't care about mid right now. So you may consider this a controversial rotation here. But I really need us to sort of get some snowball and back in the map. And I don't care about mid. Like standing around for the full cap there. I want to swing that close fight. So I push up immediately with the Ellie. And the idea here is to take this. Now, my guy on far just got plussed as well. So, whichever one we go to... This is bad, actually. It should have been far. I should have gone to far. I think the decision to live mid was correct. I think I need to stay in the engagements here. But I think I should have gone to far. Nonetheless, we do make a play here. So I rampage, which obviously gives us CC and res potential. I go for the kill, because that's, you know, the more relevant bit. Actually, never mind. I shouldn't have gone to far. I just swung this. I don't know how... These guys are dying out... Wasn't this Reaper alone? Was he alone? Anyway, yeah, we kill this. And I want the kill quickly as well. Because the thief's incoming. I didn't actually know that, but I had a sense that, you know, we should probably kill it. So he's running pistol whip there, which is not good. We have the adrenaline for one final kill shot, but we lose the Berserk right as we're doing it. He stands still, and, you know, I basically eat that pressure because the Berserk mode dropped, which isn't good. So not perfect mechanical execution or anything here. So now, I know I got 2 on respawn, but I'm thinking I can fight it. So I'm coming straight over here for decap. I'm also aware that in 1 minute, stillness is going to be up. So I want to watch for that. We take this ASAP. We run straight back on through. And again, we just got to start getting some momentum and some kills here. I'm watching. Here you go. So the thief is back. And this is fine because I didn't full cap that. So I can rotate away there. Here I've got the choice to signet whenever I like. I'm just sort of holding it for a second. And now we pop it. So there's his second stun. He evades one of the things. But that's fine. And now we just F1. And yeah, you want to be a bit tentative when you're coming in for the F1s because it's got huge range. So if they're going to port somewhere weird, you want to still be in position of wherever it is. So that's why you could see, instead of just making a beeline for the body, I kind of did a bit of an arc or whatever. I don't know. Just move a little bit less predictably, I guess is what I'm trying to say. I still don't want the node, but I'm happy to kill that guy. And killing a guy that was a high mobility guy right before double cap is super important. So I take lower. It's up. I take the Greatsword 5. Because obviously we have the mobility to be able to do this. I even swapped to the rifle there for the swiftness on agility proc. And we get the 3 cap, which is pretty good. That's going to put us back in the game. People are still wiping constantly on other nodes. The enemy team was too late. So they push back through. This Guardian does badly as well. I didn't expect that. He had a target on me and accidentally used his GS3. So I push through. We take a Gunflame. Now that's a double interrupt and cleave over a body here. We go for the stomp in. Or we would have gone for the stomp in, but I was blinded. So I go for the F1 instead, which would have killed this. And we would have been laughing because this guy would have rallied and they would have all been low. However, it doesn't quite land. It's about half a second too late. Now I take the stomp, and I know I'm outnumbered. Well, the guy just rotated in, but I'm still generally outnumbered. So I pull through. I cast that without even looking back in case someone was following me. Pull back, rampage for the 3, and I guess I'm being chased more hotly than I actually am. Kill the worm to stop the guy TPing out later because I know it's just a couple of attacks. Throw the boulder to kill the Reaper. I don't know why that didn't even land, to be honest. We balls rush in. We do a regular rush, interrupt his elite. Take the cleave. The Mesmer's low. They're all low. And then I get blown up. So the mistake here is, I mean, it was very, very good from the enemy team, to be honest. They saw and readdressed quick. As soon as my Ellie died, that was it. They just turned around. Now, perhaps the mistake was I should have cleaved over here. Maybe I should have got the Necro down and immediately just come and pressured this. And I think there was a way through this team fight. But I didn't, and as soon as that stomp goes down, I mean, I got jumped hard there. This is actually a lot sturdier than some of the other builds you've seen I've been playing. So that was some snap pressure there. And my ally don't, and here I even look, I'm like, wow, what actually blew me up? And so you can see it's a combination of 3 different players, actually. It was a lot of burning that killed me too, so anyway, yeah, really unfortunate. I'm 11-3 now. We have managed to reclaim like 100 points or so, but it's still very bad. It's still not going well as a game, so we're trying to get back into it. I decide where I want to go. I'm not going to rotate into the whole group over on in mid. And I see that we obviously already have the positioning here, and we've scored a kill. So I'm just running all the way back over here for the decap. Looking up towards their base. Making sure that no one's coming. I don't anticipate anyone coming because we've all just wiped. So I'm going to take this. Guardian's coming. We can take a 1v1 with the Guardian. I have no problem with that. The Guardian's extremely slow to do things as well. I think this must be quite a new guard, to be honest. I mean, look at this. Look at this gameplay. I'm not trying to be rude, but... Anyway, so we want to use the gun flame when there's no reflector, when there's no blocks or blinds and stuff up. What's really frustrating there is when I finally go to use it, he's in his sword 3, which is also projectile mitigation. So he gets through that. It's okay though, because we have the quickness volley to rip through his focus 5 and stuff. We interrupt him, take the greatsword. Now here, basically I'm just in a pressure race. And I know he's greedy and hungry, but so am I. So I'm just going to keep 100 blading here. Rush. We go for the stomp. And Berserk drops there, which is such a shame, because if Berserk didn't drop, I could have executed the F1. Finally, we take the mending, which I'm super late with, right? Dodge on him for some pressure. Rampage. I mean, honestly, Rampage is just so broken. And we kill him with a boulder. If that didn't crit, I would have needed the 5 for the follow-up, so I go over that. Finally, take the decap, and I rot the body, because we really need this value. And look, my team's done something! Yay! And I won my 1v1 here, so we just swept the map. What was I in the middle saying? Something about, Guardian, I think. Anyway, yeah, it was an alright 1v1, I guess. So, yeah, we take the pressure. Now, why I'm starting to hit now is because the second this full flips, I want to go to stillness. So I want to be ready for that. So I'm just sort of lining the timing up here so that he'll be dead. What I want is him to be on respawn right when stillness procs, which means I think I need, like, a couple more seconds or whatever. But the timing works well here, so that's even why I Berserk to do this. And I move, right? So we've got 12 seconds to get there. We can rotate in time. My ally, I'm thinking, oh, my ally might grab it. But he's clearly not, so I go this way again. 4 seconds, 3. I see that there's a warrior here. The game, if I have to do this 1v1, is to rifle butt him. Or stomp him. So I think stomp is what I'm going for right now. I don't know. Let's see. Does the rifle butt miss? Yeah, okay. So the rifle butt misses. So now what we're going to do is try and bait him towards the hole and then stomp in front of him, thus sending him into the hole, okay? So that's the game. He's on shield block right now, so it's fine. We just wait. So here I'm like, oh, should I do it over here? But I'm still just going to try and bait him in like I originally wanted to. He takes a weird dodge. There's a stack fields, and I miss it. So he goes over there. It's fine, though. He's been hazed off. So now I'm with the thief again, who's all out of initiative, it looks like, and just instantly dies. Or almost instantly dies. Walks into the meteor shower. So that was actually kind of really nice. Downstate auto gives me weakness, so I can't cleave him instantly. Nonetheless, we take him out. And with stillness here, we're in the lead now. Big time. And we just get it before the focus 5 from that guy comes through. So that stillness is huge. Look at the gap closing now. We're on 4 cap right now. They're only on 1. And yes, they're at 470. But we're doing pretty good too. So, yeah, I'm low, obviously. I've got to be really careful. No crit there. We pull back a bit. So, here's where things are getting really intense. Now, we just killed the thief. I know that that thief's going to respawn, steal on me, pistol whip on me, and I'm screwed. So, I also know that my team's dying, so the enemy team is going to rally on some points. So, I also know that it's a 4 cap. I know that this is close as all hell right now, and we just need to hold this here. So what I'm trying to do is position myself so that I don't die. If we have too many deaths here, it's over, all right? So I'm in full-on panic mode here, and I'm just trying to survive, okay? Even if mid gets decapped, we have the double cap value here, and overall... Actually, I think we lose even if it gets decapped. In any case, I know I can't die. So I'm scared of this guy, and I'm scared of the thief behind me. So I'm positioning very specifically on this rock, hoping that if he steals up... I can jump down or bait him to leave. Now, with a pistol whip, honestly, it's not a great plan. Or I can stomp at my feet and throw him off the edge. And it's also line of sight on the core guard over there, right? Who might try and port in nonetheless. So that's the idea. And I'm just standing. I'm just holding because I cannot die. And I know I cannot die. And we're watching the timer. We take the gun flame right as he rounds the corner. I do not move from this position. I cannot move from this position. Oh, and now I take the GS3, which honestly isn't very good. And now I'm getting jumped, right? Here we go. I'm very low, but right at the last moment, we go up to 502 to the enemy team's 498. And it's a very close game, but it is a victory in the end. And this was my first placement on... Well, I don't even know. This was like in the middle of the day at some point. So, yeah. There you go. 2 games on the Gunflame Berserker rifle stuff. Very fun. And I hope you guys enjoyed. I'll give you some more of these games as time goes forwards. Still want more crit on it. It's so weird, man. Watching these two, those non-crits feel pretty punishing. So anyway, top kills, top revives, but 3 deaths. So, you know, not a perfect game from me by any means. Neither of these were, to be honest. A really fun build. Definitely recommend you guys try it out. And hopefully I'll give you guys some more convincing and fun footage going forward. See you guys soon.